Crossing time falling for the prince.
Lalin, a modern Thai office girl, obsessed with ancient Chinese dramas, gets sucked into a mysterious painting and wakes up as a stranger in an ancient kingdom. What starts as a desperate struggle to survive turns into something totally unexpected. She captures the attention and heart of Prince Longyu, the cold and stoic third prince, who never believed in love two hearts. Suddenly, he finds himself protecting this strange, outspoken woman, who turns his world upside down. Amid court intrigues, battles for the throne, and hidden secrets of the kingdom, can Lalin find her way back to her own world? Or will her heart make her choose a completely different destiny? This story has it all: romance, comedy, martial arts, palace schemes, and heart-fluttering moments. Get ready to cross time and fall in love right alongside her.
Chapter 2. First clash with Itsundra Prince.
Creak. The heavy cell door swung open, footsteps echoing sharply across the cold stone floor. Lalin slowly lifted her head, eyes wide with caution, only to freeze in place. Standing right in front of her was a young man, clad entirely in sleek black robes, his presence radiating a frosty aura, so intense it felt like a minus 10 degrees Celsius air conditioner had just been cranked up inside the dungeon. Oh my god, this is it. This is 100% the cold Sundra male lead straight out of a Chinese drama. Her mouth fell open as she gawked at the flawlessly handsome, sculpture-like features of the man before her. Prince Longyu swept his sharp gaze over her from head to toe, his dark brows knitting slightly. Who are you? Lalin shot up, hastily brushing dust off her clothes. She forced the most innocent, wide-eyed expression she could manage. Me? Oh, I'm just an ordinary woman who happened to wander into the palace by mistake, Your Highness. Beside the prince, by Xin, his cheeky young bodyguard, let out a snort. Mistakenly wandered into the palace? What do palace maids nowadays sneak in through the sewer drains? Lalin shot a glare toward by Xin. Ugh, this cheeky bodyguard is seriously asking for a slap. Prince Longyu, however, kept his razor-sharp eyes locked on her, as if he could pierce right through her soul. I'll give you one more chance. Where do you truly come from? Lalin swallowed hard. Oh gulp. Her mind racing. Should I pull the classic drama heroine bluff again? Worth a shot. She crossed her arms confidently, lifted her chin, and declared, I am the secret disciple of a mysterious Grandmaster from Mount Tai. By Xian nearly choked on his own breath. What? Mount Tai? A Grandmaster's disciple? Does she think we're fools or something? Prince Longyu didn't laugh like his bodyguard. No, instead, he slowly stepped forward. Lalin instinctively took a tiny step back, her heart hammering in her chest. Too close. Too close. This is way too close. You're a terrible liar. The deep, cool voice slipped out softly, his sharp eyes locking onto hers, without a hint of wavering. Lalin broke into a cold sweat. Oh no, am I busted already? But before she could even scramble for a way out, a voice called from behind. Your Highness. This woman, just moments ago, kicked a prisoner so hard he flew into the wall. What? Longyu raised a brow, intrigued. By Xian spun to gape at her, wide-eyed. She's that small. But she kicked someone across the room? Lalin gave an awkward, twitchy smile and hastily waved her hands. Oh, that was just a little test. Yeah, I was, testing my martial strength. Prince Longyu tilted his head slightly, studying her, and then the faintest smirk curved at the corner of his lips. Is that so? In that case, why don't I personally test you as well? Lalin's eyes widened in pure panic. Wait, what? Huh? Before Lalin could even process what was happening, Prince Longyu flicked his sleeve, and in the next instant, he lunged at her with lightning speed. Her instinct screamed, and she threw her arms up just in time. His fist stopped dead, mere millimeters from her face, the force vibrating the air. Oh my god, this is way faster than anything I've ever seen in a drama. Heart racing, Lalin scrambled back, hopping a few steps away to catch her breath. Wait, Your Highness, isn't this a bit much for a test? But Prince Longyu only smirked slightly as he swiftly unsheathed his sword. If you truly have martial skills, then you should be able to defend yourself. Lalin's knees nearly gave out. I'm dead. I'm so dead. By Xian's jaw dropped in disbelief. Whoa, Your Highness, are you testing her? Or actually trying to take her down? Laylan's eyes went wide as she muttered under her breath. What kind of tsundere male lead? Waves a sword at the heroine? Where's the romance? But there was no time to complain. Because the prince lunged at her again. With a sharp slash. His blade whistled through the air, closing the distance between them. At terrifying speed. Oh no, he's serious. He's really serious. Lalin screamed internally, heart pounding so hard, it nearly burst out of her chest. Dodging frantically, she leapt aside, barely missing the strike by a hair. Okay, time to pull out every move I've ever learned from action movies, TikTok videos, and gym classes. Guest room she'd been allowed to stay in after narrowly escaping the dungeon. But even though she was now free, one huge question still loomed over her. How on earth was she supposed to get back home? Ugh, what am I going to do? She groaned, sitting up and rubbing her face as her brain scrambled for ideas. Wait, in all those Chinese dramas, when the heroine time travels, she usually has to find some hidden item or ancient scroll, right? Lalin collapsed face first onto the soft futon in the temporary. She nodded firmly to herself. All right, I just need to figure out how to cross dimensions and go home. Somehow. The next morning, filled with determination, Lalin set out, wandering around the palace in search of any clues or hints about time travel or magical objects. But she hadn't even gone far when she stumbled right into a huge problem. Oh no, she whispered, eyes going wide as she turned a corner, and found herself face to face with something she absolutely hadn't prepared for. Stranger, stop right there. A maid's sharp voice rang out behind her. Huh, I'm just walking around. Lalin yelped, spinning around in alarm. You're not allowed to wander freely. You're trespassing in a restricted area of the palace. The maid snapped, glaring at her as if ready to haul her straight back to the ministers. Or worse. Oh no. I was just trying to look for clues, not get arrested again. Lalin panicked, heart racing. But before the maid could seize her, a new, graceful voice cut in smoothly. Let her go. I'll handle her myself. Turning, Lalin's eyes widened as she saw Princess Sufei approaching, her elegant robe swaying softly, a mysterious smile playing on her lips. Wait, is this my golden chance? Or am I about to get pulled into an even bigger mess? Soon, Lalin found herself seated across from the princess, sipping tea calmly inside a delicate little pavilion. I've heard, Sufei murmured, her sharp eyes glinting, that you're the stranger who appeared out of nowhere in the middle of the palace. How very intriguing. Lalin swallowed nervously, clutching her teacup. Okay, this feels like one of those moments where the elegant princess either offers you help or plays a game you absolutely can't win. Lalin let out an awkward, dry laugh. Well, yeah, something like that, Your Highness. Princess Sufei's sharp gaze never wavered. And then, a sly smirk tugged at the corner of her lips. You're searching for something, aren't you? Lalin jolted in shock. Wah? How does she know I'm trying to find a way back home? I happen to know a few things, Sufei continued smoothly, her voice calm but filled with hidden layers. About the secrets you're so desperate to uncover. Lalin sat frozen, heart hammering. But before I help you, the princess added, eyes glinting mischievously, you must help me first. Oh no. Why does this feel exactly like those secret side quests in RPG games? If you agree to cooperate, Sufei murmured, gently swirling her teacup, I might just help you unlock the truth about your dimensional journey. Lalin clenched her fists on her lap. How much can I really trust her? But what if she truly knows something? The stakes had just shot sky high, and her next move could change everything. In the end, Lalin had no choice but to grit her teeth and force out the words. All right, so what exactly do you want me to do, Your Highness? Princess Sufei's sweet smile curved wider. But beneath that sweetness shimmered something sharp, something almost sinister. Oh, it's simple, she cooed softly, her voice like silk laced with hidden thorns. Make my dear Prince Longyu completely lose his cool. Lalin's jaw dropped. Huh? Her mind whirled into chaos. Wait, what did she just say? Did I hear that right? She wants me to mess with the cold tsundere prince? The same guy who almost sliced me in half the other day. Her stomach twisted nervously, but at the same time, a tiny spark of mischief flickered to life. Oh no, why does this sound like the craziest, most dangerous, but also most hilarious mission I've ever gotten in my life? What? You want me to serve as Prince Longyu's personal maid? Lalin practically shrieked, eyes bulging as Princess Sufei calmly sipped her tea. Sufei let out a soft, lilting laugh. Precisely. You want to find your way back home, don't you? I'll help you. If you can manage to make Longyu lose his cool. Lalin gulped hard. She wants me to mess with the ice-cold prince? The one who looks like someone's always stepping on his foot? This is insane. But what choice did she have? If she wanted to stay inside the palace, gather information, and survive long enough to figure out her next move, then she needed a cover. And this mission was the only ticket she had. All right, you win, she muttered under her breath, rolling up her sleeves. Brace yourself, Prince Longyu. You have no idea what kind of chaos is about to crash into your life. The next morning, Lalin was officially assigned to the team of palace maids in Prince Longyu's residence. And that's when the real nightmare began. Wait, what? Why do maids have to wake up before the roosters even start crowing? Bleary-eyed and half-stumbling, she was dragged into the relentless morning routine, preparing the prince's bath, arranging his clothes, polishing his personal belongings, all before the sun was even fully up. And that wasn't all. She had to walk with her head bowed gracefully, speak in a soft, polite voice, and above all, never, ever, be clumsy. Oh my god. This is way harder than typing up spreadsheets or answering client emails. Clutching a stack of folded robes, Lalin puffed her cheeks out in frustration. I'm starting to wonder if returning to the modern world is even worth it. The next morning, Lalin had been assigned a simple-sounding task. Bring tea to Prince Longyu in his study room. Carrying the tray carefully, she walked as gracefully as she could manage. Well, as graceful as a time-traveling office girl could get. But the moment she stepped into the room, bam, there it was. The prince's icy, piercing gaze landed on her instantly. What are you doing here? Longyu asked coolly, lifting his head from the scroll he'd been reading, eyes narrowing with clear suspicion. Ugh, seriously? I'm just delivering tea. Why do you have to look at me like I'm some escaped convict sneaking into your study? Swallowing hard, Lalin forced a shaky smile and lifted the tray. Humble servant, I'm the new maid. Your Highness. Tea, sir. Longyu's sharp gaze lingered on her for a long moment, before he finally reached out, taking the cup and sipping it in complete silence. Yeesh, it's like serving a living iceberg. How am I supposed to make him lose his cool like Princess Sufei wants? Okay, I survived the first test. Lalin cheered herself inside, standing rigidly as she watched the prince sip his tea. She let her eyes wander carefully around the room. So many books. It's got the vibe of a super hardworking CEO. But just as she glanced left, then right, suddenly, crash, eep. Lalin yelped as the tray slipped from her hands, sending the teacups shattering across the polished floor. The air in the room dropped several degrees. Slowly, ever so slowly, Longyu lifted his gaze from his scroll. His dark eyes frosted over. You are incredibly clumsy. Oh no, oh no, oh no. I'm dead, aren't I? This is it. This is how I get kicked out of the palace. Stay tuned for the next chapter. Will Lalin survive the wrath of the Tsundere prince, or get banished before she can even begin her mission? Please subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next episode.